Hello everyone. So today we have with us Kiran Saiempu. He's All India rank 15 in CAPF Assistant Commandant Examination 2020. Hello Kiran, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
A big congratulations for this monumental achievements, okay?
Thank
Because
you,
this is, I think, this result was on expected lines, right?
oh my gosh, grace.
Yeah, I still remember when I took your DAP section and I told you that, yeah, you are a promising candidate and you will surely clear it. And this rank 15 is altogether, it's marvelous. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So,
Indeed, the DAP session and the mock session indeed has helped me, sir. That roasting part, which we will discuss in any way upcoming in this interview.
Very well, very well. So, Kiran, what were you exactly doing when the results came? What was your, what was the expression that time?
Sir, since I had this experience of getting roasted in the interview in my mock, but it went to another level in my main interview. So I wasn't at all expecting any rank as such. But also I've seen I haven't actually that generally aspirants do control F thing, but I haven't done that. I just went to that reserved list candidates and I just saw for my number, expecting that the least that can happen. But suddenly I didn't even find my number in that reserve list as well. So I just scrolled a little down and suddenly I saw some name which is typical and which is very unique to my name itself, Saiempu. Nobody will else have. So I just expressed that. See, is it our name? I just can't. I just can't comprehend it. So I haven't actually experienced it well, and it didn't even sink into me because I just had my mains exam upcoming back then. It was on 4th January, and my mains was starting from 6th, 7th. So still it isn't into it. Still it hasn't sunk yet.
Wonderful. Okay, so Kiran, just tell me something about yourself. I really want to know about you. Already I know it, but there are many aspirants who really want to know about you. So tell me something about you.
Yes, sir. See, I'm Kiran Saiempu, and I've done my graduation from IIT Delhi. I've graduated in 2017, and since then I've been preparing for civil services, and this was my 4th attempt at civil services, which and the 3rd mains. I've also given the CAPF last time, and this was the only attempt at CAPF, and I got this rank. And I have my chemistry as chemistry as my optional in civil services. And I play hockey. Yes, sir. And this is my first attempt at CAPF.
Okay, very well. So, any other defense-related exams you have given?
Yes, sir. I did give CDS back then, Combined Defense Services, in 2018 itself, and I've cleared my written exam as well. But unfortunately, it has a clash with my civil services preparation for that SSB which we have. So I didn't appear for SSB. But yeah, I had some experience of defense examinations at UPSC itself.
Very nice, very nice. So, Kiran, if it would not have been CAPF, what was your plan B?
Let me just correct you, sir. This is my plan B, CAPF itself. I have to say it, and I would have said the same even if they have asked it in my main interview as well. As I've already told that my main motive is to become a civil servant. But anyway, with due respect to the CAPF and with all the respect to the CAPF which it deserves, it is a very good opportunity, career perspective to serve the country.
Very well, very well. So, Kiran, see, you have your a long tryst with ForumIAS, right? So you're already a part of mains guidance program MGP. You're also you were already part of IGP interview guidance program. So how was your experience specifically with the MGP as well as IGP?
So coming to first MGP, I've been the MGP student since last 2 years, and it definitely has helped because the quality of answers which we get at Forum, which we have separate the structuring for answers, especially because we don't see that kind of answers with any other institute. For example, we have separate introductions and separate stats and also separate committee names. So the segregation and the uniqueness of this keeping it right in the line of what examination demands is one thing which I have loved with ForumIAS, particularly with respect to the MGP as well. And also, I used to give my simulators test as well for the prelims as well. So it has also definitely helped me in eliminating the design of the options for the prelims, which is more important than anything to crack prelims as well. So it has also helped me. And coming to IGP, interview guidance program for CAPF. Yes, sir. I think that is my first mock ever in my life, and I was a little perplexed by the way it went, because you were also present in that, and you people were roasting me, and you people were attacking me in all other sides. So the same has happened with me in the final interview as well. My board was Sujata Mehta ma'am board. And the moment I went there and I didn't even took my breath as well, she started bombarding at me. Why you are here? Why you want to opt to CAPF after graduating from IIT Delhi? And she also has this comment that you are wasting in the precious human resource which India has created and all this. But I have, in certain cases, I have defended it, and also in certain cases, I have maintained my strategic silence. So I think it worked in favor of me. But yeah, coming back to the forum experience, yes, it has definitely had a help for me.
Please carry on. Please carry on. Please carry on.
Yes. So in a way, I can say that I had better, like I handled it a little better just because maybe I got this prior experience in the mock interview.
Very well. So see, for all this, grilling part at the main interview, for all this bombardment, I think you were already prepared. Okay. So there was hardly any bouncer question, because I still remember we discussed at length your DAF session. In the DAF session, we discussed it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right?
Sir.
So why CAPF, why CISF? So every question we discussed. Very well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even I remember one question which they asked about this greyhounds, and they were grilling me on the unique aspect of greyhounds. What is so special about that? And also they asked me this: what do you do differently if you get posted in, let us say, at my home place, which is Warangal, which is left-wing extremist affected areas? And these are the things which we directly has been asked by the mock interview panel. And also I was being asked by this question on, particularly I said my father is a farmer, so I had this question that why do farmers generally prefer paddy and these kind of stuff more than any other crop and all. So I was able to answer it in a proper way, just because I had premeditated some answers because of this mock and all.
Very nice, Kiran. Very nice. So Kiran, coming to the productivity part required in the CAPF, what was your daily routine?
Yes, sir. I would not see in parts, sir. Generally, I take it in as a sum or whole kind of. I don't make it a separate priority. I didn't actually made a separate priority for CAPF as such, because both of the times when my written exam was in December 2020, which coincided, or which was just 15 days before my mains 2020 exam. And my interview was also scheduled on December 21, 2021. So on the same, again, 15 days after that, I have the mains, which I've just completed giving 2021 mains, civil services. So effectively, my timetable or my productivity is basically segregated in the sessions, sir. I do take it in like early morning session and post breakfast session and post lunch session and evening session, 4 sessions. And I try to have this kind of my most productive sessions are my early morning sessions, where basically I can actually grab out, like, let us say if I sit for 3 hours, I can grab out 2.5 hours. But the productivity generally, as every human has this, my productivity generally decreases by the end of the day, where if I sit for, let us say, 4 hours between 9 to 1 or 10 to 1, 3 hours, I can effectively make 2 hours or 2.5 hours, like maximum. But that's something which I have to say. We need not pinpoint each and every session what has come out of it, or what I didn't do or what I did do. But on an effective scale, I more vote for the, let us say, I more vote for the consistency rather than individual sessions productivity.
Very well, very well. So see, you generally said that CAPF also requires the the coordination of physique and fitness. So along with gaining intellectual knowledge, you also have to be fit and physically fit totally. So how did you manage that?
Yes, sir. So one thing which has helped me as my hobby is to run a lot. I run. I do generally. I'm physically active because I believe I am such a person who believes that if I am physically active, I will also be mentally active. It's like that synchrony will have to always be maintained. And yeah, of course, when it comes to particularly with respect to the CAPF, like I was at 82 kgs back then in January in February when the results came out, just because like I was just sitting and preparing for my civil services mains. Although I am little active, but I wasn't that active just because I had very tight schedule of civil services mains. So now then I had this target of 10 kgs to decrease because my height required 72 kgs to be according to the CAPF standards. So uh, yeah, little bit. I did actually focused a lot in cutting down a lot of carbs, and there wasn't any professional guidance as such. But with the prayer, my own knowledge, or with some friends, I just used to run, and it was fun as well because whenever I run along, it has good. They generally call this as runner's high. This is the word which athletes use. So in that respect, I used to read a lot. I used to study a lot. That's a positive feedback loop which I used to create for myself. So in a way, like yeah, in a way that's something which is virtuous. Kind of being physically productive has made me mentally productive, and it in turn it was a feedback loop which I think every aspirant should try to have because. Sitting in a room like this, you can actually see my background sitting in a
Right.
room like this for like let us say 3-4 years. You don't see what exactly is going on, or you don't associate very well with what is happening in on ground or in the society. So like my running activities and all is one way to connect back to the society. I just go and look to the society. I just go and look to the people. I see a lot of, let us say, army retired personnel, or some old ladies, or let us say some small boys who go on running and all. I just take a lot of motivation from those kind of people. Or if I see some, let us say, some other person who is in very need or like that, it's like it just getting out of this room. My physical activities are designed in such a way that so as to have this connect with the external society, so that I can go on with the full pace when I come back again.
Wonderful, Kiran. Wonderful. So if I talk about, specifically about the CAPF, so was it a tryst with destiny? Because I know your, primary aim was something else. I know that, right? So it was specifically civil services. But who pushed you for, giving the CAPF examination?
Sir, I just want to tell one thing. Tryst with destiny might be this was the first thing which my one of my friend has also told me. Like the moment I got CAPF examination, he told that you are destined to be a police or like that, or he was also expecting me to become, let us say, in future maybe an IPS or like that. But yeah, maybe because that I'm a freak of, you can say a fitness freak. I think like I just don't eat sugar or like that. So people used to make me feel that I'm an IPS or I'm a police officer per se. So yeah, I think somewhere I just want to share a small story of how I got to know about CAPF as well. Even with good amount of knowledge which I've gained from civil service preparation, unfortunately, I didn't know what exactly like CAPF is. One day I was preparing for civil services prelims in back in 2020 August, and I saw one of my seniors WhatsApp DP. This is my crazy thing which everybody does, checking the WhatsApp DPs of everybody in our contact list. And I saw a senior's WhatsApp DP, and suddenly I saw some stars on his this uniform, and I thought, oh, this man has become IPS or what. So I just Googled his name, and I came to know about that he has become some assistant commandant. So suddenly, oh, this is something might be which is a very good thing. And I just looked for what is this exam. I just Googled it and I saw. And fortunately, and let me tell you, this is not made up at all. And that was the last date for the application form. And I was like looking at 4:30 or like that, and last date was at 6 o'clock or like that. And I just opened that application form and I saw it. And fortunately, one more thing has happened. that my eligibility criteria, my date of birth and all was just 20 days required, 20 days above what is required. Like it was required that August 1st should be the cutoff date, and I was born on August 21st. So maybe everything has worked in such a manner that if I would have seen his DP a little late, or maybe that cutoff date was maybe 20 days later than what it is, I don't think I would have got this. But yeah, I think there is some element of trust with destiny with CAPF with me.
Indeed it is. Okay, so Kiran, how did you balance, both the civil services and the CAPF simultaneously?
Yes, sir. So basically, I think for all the aspirants as well, I want to say that apart from some little things, I think one need not have to focus too much on what separately for CAPF, because more or less in GS3, what we have here, internal security aspects and all. And particularly with the prelims part, let us say paper 1 of CAPF, we have we have got a lot of questions on polity aspect. Polity, let us say they have asked on governor and they have asked on speaker. So there are a lot of questions, and if one is able to crack civil services prelims in a good manner, they can get very good marks in prelims of CAPF as well. And very good thing about CAPF prelims is that they count that marks in the final list as well. So that's something which has helped me as well. So apart from that, I was also following some they asked some little very pointed or concentrated current affairs. Let us say they have asked some questions on the tennis star of Sania Mirza, I think. So for these small kind of current affairs, I think I followed Vikaspedia just peripherally, so as to not miss anything which everybody can do.
Very well. Very well.
I think
three quick questions. One,
yes, sir.
Relevance of newspaper, and which one you followed?
Yes, sir. Sir, I followed the Hindu, and I think that's the best one which any aspirant can go forward with. But only thing which every aspirant has to keep in mind is that we shouldn't spend too much of time on that. We just have to have this idea of what is got, and what peripheral knowledge will be okay. But whenever aspirant has to be like this, and giving 3 mains in civil services and 1 good attempt at CAPF as well, I can say that aspirant has to be active learner, and he has to, let us say, he has to note some good things which he really feel good about, which he can use it in the final exam. And I think that's something it will definitely create some difference between we and the other people, because I've seen a lot of people, they just read the paper and they just live it, and by the end they will pick up some magazine of any coaching center, and then they will be on the equal footing with the other people who haven't read the newspaper in the first place. So I think I do generally note like simple sentences or simple stats or simple quotes. Let us say I remember this quote very well from the 2017 or 2016 itself, that water and blood cannot flow together, which Modi has made with respect to Pakistan. So that was with respect to the Pathankot attacks, Uri attacks, and the Indus water debacle. So the thing is, like, these kind of pointed quotes, so these which we only can get from the newspapers. So one needs to be like, let us say Modi has also made this statement on solar energy. Let us say solar energy is sure, pure, secure. These kind of statements which one can directly bombard in the answer papers, which will make a lot of difference. So I think these kind of small value additions has to be our own unique ones, than otherwise it will again make us on the same equal standing with the other aspirants.
So coming to the current affairs part, how did you prepare that? From the newspaper itself or from monthly magazines?
Sir, I do have my own current affairs things, but yes, I have, as I've already told you, only broader things and most important things which I felt will be present in my own notes, and that means that a lot of stuff will be missing from my own notes. So I had to refer for some magazines, and particularly as I was more focused on civil services, so I had to backtrack and retrack my journey towards CAPF, which which the examination demands from us. So I believe that one needs to go through the previous year questions and know the standard and know the way how the questions are being set, and it itself will tell us like how better or how depth or how deep we have to go into preparing for the current affairs. So I did that. I have seen last 2 years CAPF papers, and I just had this vague idea of how they are asking. So I just went for like 12 months of magazines and I just glanced all the. One can take any magazine, current affair magazine for that. Not just focus for civil services, but as a general. For example, you have Wikipedia and we have, let us say, GK Today and such kind of stuffs.
So, see, notes making is very well relevant and it's sine qua non for the civil services. But is it also relevant for CAPF? Is it required that we need to make notes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, it is very, very important because ultimately, what we have to do is to write, and we are what our paper is. So that kind of active learning can only happen when we start writing notes, and that kind of in line with the examination mode can only happen. I strongly believe in this. That if one don't write, and if he is just reading, or if he or she is just reading, then it is equivalent to not reading at all, because after 10 days we don't remember what we have read, and this process is something which is spread over an year or two, like that. So you cannot remember what you have read, let us say, about like 2 months ago. So and also a lot of people look for innovation at the point of the exam. That doesn't come at the point of the exam. So the thing is like it can only come when you start innovating at on a dispersed phase. Let us say on August 1st you have created a triangle kind of thing, and you just will keep there, and maybe hub and spoke model. You can learn world map on one day, you can learn India map on one day. All this can be spread over all on a broader scale, and you can actually implement in that manner. You can better implement these strategies in a focused manner in the exam, because if you just sit for some days, and if you want to create some good level or professional level answers, it is not possible. It's a slow and consistent
so coming
process.
Specifically, very sir. So coming specifically for the paper one part. So what were the standard books referred? Were they similar to those referred in the civil services?
Yes, sir. Only for current affairs, I went for the other ones. And as I am from a technical background from IIT, my science was a little strong. So that has also had a little good impact for my scores in the science part of it and the aptitude part of it. Rest for the general studies or general knowledge, general ability, I think like one need not have any separate preparation. Very basic questions like how the constitution, what is the basic structure, and these kind of basics has to be very, very strong, no matter what exam one is writing.
So number of mocks you attempted for paper one?
Sorry, sir. I just have seen the previous papers only. I haven't given any mocks other than our own, like what we had mutually on the interview one. I didn't have any mock at all, sir. I didn't ever write anyone. But I just practiced some précis writing, and I just practiced some report writing and argument against and for the second paper. And for the first paper, as I was doing very well in the civil services prelims as well, that spillover positive effects was there for the CAPF as well.
So number of good attempts out of 125 questions, how many you attempted?
Sir, I attempted for 116 as far as I remember. Definitely it was 116, I think 116, 117. But yes, sir, I do also suggest to my juniors as well with respect to civil services as well, and here as well. If you have to be in the game, I think from my own experience, I don't know if it is applicable to everyone, but one need to attempt as many questions as possible. But that attempt should not be just like hawabazi nahi, like you cannot throw stones in air. You just have to have some smart working and smart guessing. That will definitely have help, because I just have these calculations. Let us say, for example, if you are attempting for 80 questions, let us say, and in that, if your accuracy is, let us say, 60 questions. How much one will get? Say 16 to 2. Let us say 16 to 2, 120. Minus, again, you will get minus marks. But if you attempt to, let us say, with the same efficiency or with the even little lesser efficiency of 100 questions, and if you correct it with 70 questions, then 70 or 75 questions, your effective number of marks will be increased. But the thing is, like, we have to attempt those questions which we are very sure about, and we have to make very smart guesses. Let us say, I generally suggest this to every future aspirant, that if you are in 50-50, let us say, if you are in if you are left with only two options, going without it is a very idiotic step. You have to go with for that, because ultimately, statistically, it will be that 50% will be correct. So even if your day is very bad, it may be going to 40 or 40%. Even if it is your one person's efficiency is 40%, then also the person can be in the positive. So that kind of smart guessing should be there in the first paper, especially with the CAPF. So I think that itself has given a very, very good boost for me. I got some 155 plus in my, the marks here aren't yet out, but as far as I remember, I got more than 150 marks in paper one itself.
So coming to the paper two part. So you already, were a part of MGP, so you have a natural knack of answer writing, right? You already have that. But still, any specific standard books you referred for paper two, like essays, precise writing, and all?
Sir, I don't at all actually looked it for especially for essay or précis writing. I took some help for the grammar part, where I was I was just referring to Renan Martin, which is little it goes out of our way, but you can read it selectively. And I've seen some toppers strategies which we have on YouTube, how to write arguments, how to write reports, because that was the first time. Just like the only thing is, like, above after all, like, what one thing which came out of my experience is that one need to complete the paper, and with every question has to be completed, because in that 2 hours, I think it is 3 hours, yeah, in that 3 hours, it is a very lengthy paper. It is, I think, I can equate it to relatively with our ethics paper in civil services, literally in that lengthy. So one need to focus on writing all the average answers all throughout, and one need to complete. And one cannot be a lot more egoistic on, or we shouldn't have any kind of emotions on those, let us say, grammar part, because they are teasers. Let us say they tend to tease you to spend a lot of time there, because if you spend time there, then you will have to compromise on your essay or your other ones. So whatever one can write in the grammar part, they have to do it, and as soon as possible, they have to shift back to those ones which I think any CAPF aspirant will be able to do with the argument writing and précis writing and essay writing.
Very good. So coming to the interview part. So Kiran, how was your experience with DAF analysis and discussion?
Yes, sir. My interview, I think, my main interview was more on my personal things only. Why they were actually grilling on my my personal, my credentials, like why I was in IIT, why I want to get into force, or why I want to get into government job. And I think, like, these are fundamental questions. Most of the times, many aspirants forget, or even they will be back of mind. But if somebody don't remind us, or just there need to be somebody. I think, like, I feel that they just have to remind us that these are some important questions one need to focus upon. One need to have standard answers, or one need to have well made out answer, premeditated answers, so that we won't get stuck when we are talking, right? So these kind of questions, especially with my home place Warangal in Telangana, so the left wing extremism and all. So these kind of basic questions all are covered, sir. And also we had some questions on technology as well. I think you are the one who were asking me about the upcoming technology, how innovation can be used in CAPF and all. So exactly these questions are being, they asked me. And also they asked me how I will be able to write how I will be able to use my civil engineering in CAPF. So I had a very good answer, and also I had some friends who has actually had my inputs, had some inputs for that. So one good answer which came out of it is like I may not use my civil engineering knowledge up to the level in CAPF, but the thing is like I can ask better questions, good questions for whatever is going in my arena. I can ask good questions and I can make it get implemented in a right fashion, and quality will be maintained in appropriate manner. So these kind of good answers emerged out of those discussions, I can say, sir.
Right, because I personally remember, when me and you were discussing on your DAF, we have discussed at length that multiple aspects, the predictable questions they can answer, they can ask. Like for instance, I even asked you that, okay, but how will you inculcate your knowledge of graduation in CISF? Like
Yes,
if
sir.
your
Yes.
preference is CISF, is
Yes,
your
sir. Yes,
preference
sir.
of CISF urban oriented? Then you gave a very nice answer. No, sir, I don't have any kind of disgrace, regarding any of the services, because CISF is also stationed in rural areas. For example, in
Exactly.
Assam, I still remember that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
already
Same.
prepared on that. Okay,
Exactly.
very
Exactly,
well,
sir.
very well.
Exactly.
Okay, so was there any, although you have already answered it, but still, was there any difference between the mock interviews you took and the real interview, you undergone?
Sir, I think the only difference which was I experienced was like this was my mock interview was on this web-based one, so that was the only thing. But most of the questions were on the same lines, like the intensity was on the same sense. But yeah, as it happens with every other aspirant, and I think that aura of the building itself will make us like everything goes above the head, like it doesn't sink much into that. That's the only thing. But I think one needs to be more conscious than me. I felt that my interview was not that up to the mark, but fortunately, I think they might have, as marks aren't out yet, but I think they might have given me generously the marks. Only one thing which I can tell
Very
for
well,
the
very
future
well.
aspirants is that we need to be more conscious because we have this tendency with respect to UPSC building and the UPSC board itself that we tend to like simulate the same situation for, like, let us say I have myself simulated the same that presence and that sense for, like, let us say thousands or some, I think, I don't know, 10,000 times, I don't know. With every person whom I talk to, I just visualize that if I am in front of UPSC board, how I have to behave and like that. So after all that simulations which went in my brain, and when I was in reality, it wasn't making sense. Oh, is it really the reality? I wasn't able to comprehend much. But yeah, it just was like maybe first few minutes. But yeah, that first few minutes did make a lot of impact because ma'am started bombarding me in the first go itself. But in any case, I rebounded, and I think that was actually what might be liked by the panel at the end, because I maintained my calm and I maintained my smile all throughout, which I think they might have felt that even after they are coming directly onto the head, I wasn't at all considering them that they are basically mocking me or all those kind of stuff. So I just was giving my diplomatic answers all throughout.
No, no. It's not like that they have given, marks liberally. It's altogether because of your bold and pleasing personality that you have earned it. Okay. So I personally believe
Uh,
that. Okay. So,
um,
so Kiran, just tell me one thing. You have already, been through this long, strenuous journey. What was your source of motivation? What kept you, keep this long drawn confidence for a long time?
Sir, this is something which I've always thought. I'm one person who have deliberately made myself very little, like no choice. For me, this is the only thing which I do. Like I draw a lot of motivation from Virat Kohli, sir. For him, I think one cannot go and ask what is your source of motivation. He just has that. That's it. So I draw a lot of motivation from him. He just plays that for the playing sake, and I just do this for doing sake, and I just have to get out of it. I just have to do it for the flying colors. Or the result is the next thing which I can do. I have to do when I'm doing this. I have to do is for the doing sake. So I didn't
Wow,
think
wonderful.
I didn't think very in a futuristic sense per se. I might have daydreamed a lot about civil services, which I have to admit. But with respect to CAPF, which I think why I have got a very good rank, because I just went and gave myself. This is what every cricketer, I draw a lot of inspiration from cricketers. So they just always say this thing. Even I told when I was going for that exam on December 20th last year, I just wrote on my board that yes, you have no other choice but to return back as assistant commandant. So I just wrote it on my board and I went without even with very less preparation. I just went there. But yeah, again, this is what I tell every time, that you just have to express yourself. You just have to dig out from yourself from inside. So that one can do only when one is very, very calm. So that's what has happened. With the least expectations, one need to express oneself, and I think uh, that will propel, and that will even serve as a continuous source of motivation. If I do well today, I have to do well tomorrow. And one thing which one of my friend from IIT used to say: when you work harder, you will get eligibility to work more harder. So that's what I believe,
Wow,
that I work
very well
hard
said.
to
Very well said.
work hard tomorrow.
That was nice, Kiran. That was really nice. Okay. So we have certain myths also. The CAPF exam is, it's very difficult. It requires multiple attempts. Is that so?
See, if somebody is there, like if I can crack, anyone can crack. This, I think every topper or every other ranker will say that. But believe me that I completely can say that anybody can crack this with least amount of uh, preparation. It shouldn't be a myth at all, and don't at all believe. This is the same thing. Again, I remember this dialogue from Pursuit of Happiness. If somebody comes and says you that you at your face that you can't do this, then don't at all believe in them. Don't at all. And the day when you get rank, then they will come back to you and say that I know that this guy can do that. He has that potential and all. But in this trainers journey, all throughout, the only person whom one can back is yourself, and you have to back yourself. And even when I was coming back from the interview as well, I felt that my interview wasn't good. I have to admit it, because I don't know. Although like after our mock interview, you were there, or like you people were there for me to say that yeah, you have a charming personality, or you did handle those questions. But I didn't have anybody else. Even I didn't tell my parents as well when I was going to Delhi, because I just didn't want to disclose that to my parents as well. So I didn't have anybody to share of my experience on that day. So all throughout the 2 hours flight journey, I was just talking to myself. I just borrowed a pen from the other lady, and I just was writing all throughout my diary. So that's the only way. Like one has to back with oneself, and having a good diary is a very good friend, or a friend in need. That's very good one for any aspirants life. Here.
Very nice. Very nice. So, Kiran, and as a closing comment, any tips for the future aspirants, how to manage time effectively or how to prepare effectively?
Yes, sir. I just have one small suggestion for everybody. See, it's not that I'm a topper, or it's not that I got some rank. I could say this even without I'm getting a rank. The thing is, like uh, uh, I already told that we have to do it for doing sake. So if you start daydreaming now, that means that you are not doing work here, what is expected from you right now. And if you can't do what is expected from you right now, then you cannot go to the dream place which you are expecting to go for. So one cannot sit here and daydream. This just has to be taken in such a manner that this is just an exam, and you just have to see that in that respect only. Just this is an exam, and this has to be cracked, and this is cracked by a lot of people before, and it can be cracked by me as well. So it's not a Greek and Latin, definitely. It's not something which is uncrackable, not definitely. It's very simple to crack. After cracking, everybody can say this, but I have to. If you have this attitude that I can crack this without anything or without much effort, one can crack. This is just making our mind believe, and that attitude is fundamentally important no matter where you go. If Virat Kohli sits here, that maybe sitting back in his room and thinks that 1 lakh people are watching me, whether I can cover drive it properly or not. These kind of stuff, if it gets into his head, then he definitely will not be in that flow state to drive that in a proper manner. So I think you just have to cut the clutter from the outside world and just focus on yourself, and you just have to go and do it for the doing sake. And don't too much daydream, and focus on what examination is expecting from you. And when we are focused to exactly on what examination is expecting, then a lot of clutter will be gone.
Very well said, Kiran. So Kiran, it was really great interacting with you. And we at ForumIAS, we are pretty much sure that you will surely excel even in your future endeavors. Okay. Again,
Thank you
many congratulations, and thank you and have a nice day. It was really great interacting with you.
Thank you very much, sir.